This is why big land? How would you invest in big land, Anthony?
I like big land because it's just you can make significant moves, man. So I'll tell you one of my ultimate failures in life, and something that made me feel like I had failed in business, is that I let a lot of years go by, and I didn't make the kind of money that I wanted to. I felt like I didn't maybe take my kids places that I would want, or giving them the experiences that I wanted to, and so I felt like I had to make up for lost time. And the reason I love land so much is because you can make up for lost time. You can make a year's worth of pay, or 5 years or 10 years worth of pay on one transaction. So it's worth investing 5 years of your life to become an expert at this business, because then after that you can
It's easy.
you can generate obnoxious amounts of capital quickly.
I like this line of thinking because I think I'm lucky. I'm very lucky. I'm 10 years younger than you, and that's not to rub it in your face, but I'm 10 years younger than you, and I'm doing and learning what I'm doing now, and it's insane. And I think everybody has a different journey, and it took. I think you've been entrepreneur for over 15 years. It took you 15 years to find something that worked. 15 years.
Lots of blood, sweat, and tears, man. Lots of self-doubt, lots of people poking fun at you, and just having to roll with the punches and just keep on believing in yourself. When all the signs show that you should probably stop, you should probably cease to believe in yourself, at least temporarily, and like, maybe I need to start a different kind of business. But when you got it, and you got it, and you know where you're headed, then you're unstoppable, man.
I think there's lessons in this. I think I always hear about like, oh, buying businesses. Buying business is a big topic right now, and I'm like,
It's a new wholesaling houses.
it's a new wholesaling houses, and I think we'll do it not necessarily to scale, but we'll do it just out of necessity.
I say we let the kids go out and do the deal mining, and then we're still the buyers and the financiers. So we're not going to change our model.
But the bigger thing I want to, well, my point with this is that I think there's a lot of great businesses out there. I think there's plenty of opportunity to buy businesses, but I think not every business should be run by you. And this is you as an individual listening to this. You as an individual should find something that you like doing and then do that business, because not every business should be run by you. I think um, literally what I do right now, I love it. I literally love what I'm doing, and I think I'll be doing this for the rest of my life. Literally, I love what I do. I really do, and I think. Did you like doing construction?
I kind of like the hustle. I kind of like being the metal chingo. I like being in charge, but the bitching customers and the complaining construction workers
Invoicing.
started to burn me out, man. Yeah, like, I'm just like, if I got to hear one more sob story about why somebody couldn't perform their duties, like, I'm just gonna just jump off of a building.
And like me, when I ran into trucking, I did it because I knew how to, but I hated it. I literally hated doing the job, and it's something I knew how to do, but everything that came with it, I just hated it.
It's kind of the only way you know how to make money, so you got to roll with it.
You got to roll with it. So I think it's very very important to find out what you want to do and if it's profitable to do so. And I think that's the key, profitable to do so. So one thing that I hate is startups. Startups fucking suck.
Yeah, weren't we talking about that a little while ago? Like, why you should not bootstrap your business? You want to
Yeah,
touch that one real quick?
yeah. So yeah, avoid startups are so crazy. I think you don't realize what it takes to grow.
You know what it takes to make a successful startup? The ability to raise capital. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you want to learn how to make money sooner or later. But if you can raise enough capital to keep that sucker alive for long enough, it
So
blows
this
up.
this is a great point. So Anthony might sound like he's full of shit, but we're gonna cover why raising capital, and it's a double edged sword. So if you look up Facebook and what is it, Google, Facebook
And
and
there's a
Apple, it
bunch,
was Apple.
bunch of apps that depended on fundraising.
Yeah, so Facebook's a perfect example. So I think it was like 7 or 12 years. I can't remember what that was. It was at least seven, but Facebook did not charge a customer $1 for 7 years. 7 years. I think another one I think of is Canva. Canva did not charge a customer for like it was like 7 or 10 years, something like that.
That's so that goes with any business, right? Let's say you're gonna start a Windows company, If you can make it to year 10, your chances of making it forever are pretty good.
Even if you're not making money,
Yeah. You don't even have to make money as long as the company doesn't collapse.
even if as long as the company doesn't collapse. But you got to think of, if you're not charging customers and you're not making money, how do you survive?
Well, you have amazing deals burning in the background. Or in their case, for them, yeah,
They
they're
raise
just
money.
pure raising capital, nothing else.
They pure raise capital, and that was their avenue. So it's there's the startups they're extremely difficult. I don't want to do another one.
Yeah, let's say if you are going to do a startup, right? You still got to learn how to raise capital. So whether you're doing a deal with us or raising capital to put into our deals, then just imagine that is that no matter where you go, if you think the grass is greener on the other side, let's say you go into insurance or something else, it's still going to take you 10 years to build an amazing business. 15 years in, you're a rock star, right? So it's kind of, you just got to just pick whatever you're interested in, like you said. That's why I don't teach my kids to go after real estate. I'm like, they're learning what I'm doing passively, right? And now they're going to start getting their own contracts, but I'm not trying to steer them into it because I don't, if they're raising capital, they're going to be fine. Whatever they want to be in, flipping deals, flipping land deals, they'll know how to make a lot of cash quickly. So, but I don't want to like have them waste their life flipping land if that's not what they're into.
I kind of want to jump back to the why big land. I talk about this all the time, and if you've not heard this before, but the reason why we like land is it comes back to the ROI thing. You invest in business and stocks, and you invest in general just because of ROI. So what ROI are you happy with? And then it comes down to, can you the easiest way to make it 10% ROI. I always make this joke, and I must say it forever whenever I speak on stage. So if you hear it again, I want you to really think about it. But the easiest way to make 10% ROI is to buy something full price and sell finance it with 10% interest. That is the easiest way to get 10% ROI. And a lot of people, they like making money the hard way.
Weird.
They like making money the hard way. They think it's buying doors. They think it's buying single Section 8 rentals. I think it's doing all these things. I think it's investing in the S&P 500.
Imagine buying 60 houses and you got to remodel them. Man, your life's gonna go good for a little while. You're gonna be busy.
Investing in the S&P 500 and hoping it goes up at the rate of 12%. Like you have no guarantees on anything.
You know what? You can guarantee that there will be surprises. 60 houses.
Oh yeah.
How many things need to be repaired that you didn't budget for? Little surprises. Something burns down. Water heater. So it's like you kind of, no matter how much cash you have on hand, a big house portfolio, like it would seem to bleed.
It's always bleeding.
A lot. Yeah.
It's always bleeding. But so this is the other thing. So like, if you're looking to make an ROI, double-digit ROI, just buy something full price and seller finance it. So the reason why we like big land is because you can find readily available land. You can be the bank on it because there's no bank services for it, and then you seller finance it. Now it gets really, really fun when you find deals and then seller finance it, and that's how you create 20-30% ROI annually for 20-30 years pretty freaking easily without doing a thing. No management, nothing. So big land is where it's at. It's an asset. It's tangible. You can visit. You can build on it. It's a blank slate. It's a real thing that you can hold in your hand. That no one thinks it's of value.
I got a zinger for you right now.
Hit me with the zinger.
If big land is so cool, how come what is it? What happens on your taxes? Like you can't depreciate down nothing.
Yeah,
that's what the naysayers are gonna say.
Yeah, you can't depreciate it. So let me tell you this. So those are things like what's an asset? What's an asset that most people don't realize? Oh, what's a luxury that most people don't think it's a luxury? And I put land because land's always top of mind. So most people that own it don't need it.
It's not a luxury to them. It's a burden sometimes.
It's a burden. But the people that can afford to buy it,
it's a luxury.
It's a luxury. The people that can afford to buy it. So it comes down to the point where you can have an asset, and this is the land banking theory. If you never heard of the term land bankers are people that buy land in up and coming areas and they just sit on it. Why? Because it doesn't have any capex, opex, taxes are cheap, and they just sit on it. and they know it's going to grow.
It's a risk-free deal. It's risk-free for them.
It's risk-free for them, as long as and this is the funny thing. If you buy what area is popping in San Antonio, Anthony?
I'd say Bernie.
Okay, it's like if you go to if you're from San Antonio, Texas, and you know Bernie, yeah, Bernie's exploding. If you buy a land deal in Bernie, are you going to make money? Absolutely.
Probably going to make a bit, yeah.
You're going to make a lot of money. If you buy 5 acres in Bernie and just sit on it, 10 years from now, you have a lot of money sitting in Bernie that you have not managed. You haven't worried about it. It's just sat there for 10 years, and you have a lot of money.
20 even better. Yeah, you retire a millionaire off that one deal.
Yeah, and it just sat there. You didn't do nothing. So there's a lot of people that their investment strategy is so simple. Most people don't even know it exists.
So somebody recently asked me that. They said, "Hey, well, if this is such a good strategy, how come everybody's not doing it?" And I said, "Well," they said, "like, what about even other real estate investors? Why aren't they doing it?" And I said, "Well, even your top 99.99% of real estate investors don't have the tools. They don't know how to. They don't even know this game exists, and therefore, and then on top of that, they still got to be good at it. So even if they knew how to do it on paper, you still got to go out and put all the missing moving pieces together. Or you just partner with us and you go right to the front of the line. And you can take a deal start to finish."
Yeah. I was talking to a potential new lender of ours, and he said he owns like a 5-acre tract, like a couple 80-acre tracts, and he just bought it. That he just goes fishing on it, but he uses it for recreational use, but there's money in there. It's just sitting, chilling.
That's some gangster.
I don't know. One thing that's going to happen with us is that we're doing so many land deals, we're going to end up keeping stuff. It's just chilling.
You know what's kind of interesting is that exact thing right there. Is like I didn't know how I knew this was going to lead to something tremendous, but you can't always see the path to wealth, right? Whatever that means to different people. Some of you say, "Well, those guys are broke," but what we're starting to have is leftover land, paid off leftover land for sale or for not for sale, right? Just road signs on it, and accumulating a lot of that passively is for one, a cool business model. Because now we're starting to have like a lot of land scattered here.
We can talk about the road signs.
No, let's make that one for a future day. I got a good video about that one. So
it's a work in progress.
Yeah, we got something we're gonna share with you guys, but we like to make sure it works first on ourselves before we try to share too much. But yeah, so we're starting to get stuck with a lot of land now, right? Because it didn't sell, or hey, now that's our profit. We're just waiting for the deals to close out, and the rest of the money's ours. But we're starting to have a trail of that now. And it's like, that's comforting because that's kind of like your liquid cash, even though it's not liquid. And then also...
It's a savings account.
It's a hard savings account. It's better than Bitcoin. Yeah, because you can go touch it and walk on it. All right? And we have that, and then starting to have leftover notes now that were for sale, are for sale. But if we keep on going at any significant rate that matches what we've done previously till today, we're going to start to have a little decent amount of land and notes stacked up behind us that we kind of didn't intend to. We're just starting to have it. So I think that bucket can get pretty tremendous pretty quick, especially since more and more people are coming on board.
As we do more and more deals, they're going to build up automatically.
Let's say right now there's 30 core people or 50 core people. Next thing you know, there's 200 or 400 or 500.
We're going to have 3 to 4x of what
the
we
rate
currently
that
have.
we could produce would turn into 2x, 4x, 6x, 10x. And that's cool. It's like, okay, so now what we're doing, I guess, is we're trying to streamline all of this, right? We have a lot of different people working in a lot of different departments saying, hey, these people do this, these people do that. So we're kind of dissecting it, but we said all this to say that there's a lot that goes into it. If you're going to look at any asset class that's out there, consider land. I think there's nothing like it. There's nothing close to it. And it doesn't share some of the same tax advantages it might get from other assets, but it's like first learn how to make $1 million a month or $5 million a month, and then you can figure out how to alleviate the tax problem. But
so let's talk about multiples. So everybody thinks a 2x multiple is ridiculous and it's impossible, and it's a 5-year game plan.
It's 100% on your money. It's impossible.
They think it's impossible. What's our buy box, Anthony?
We got to buy and sell it for double
in a year or less.
12 months or less.
That is our buy box. And when we tell people that, especially other investors, multifamily people and storage people, are like, "What? You could do that?" Yeah. Um, you have the ability. You have the ability to create multiples. Now let's talk about entitlement. What's a multiple on an entitlement, Anthony?
Well, that's when it starts to get exponential, right? So, like, let's say you put your, let's say total cash. I was gonna say your own cash, somebody else's cash. Who cares? Let's just use an example. So you put 3 million into a deal for acquisitions, and then you put, let's call it another 1.5, call it 2 million, just a nice round number sake. You put 5 million into a deal, and you could sell that for at least 2 to 2.5x, sometimes 3x, right? So that's total sales volume. But just like an entitlement play, if we just tied it up with 5K of earnest money or $300 of earnest money
Or 50K.
50K, get to close in 12 months. Then we put another 2, 3, 400 into it. Now that little 500 grand turns into a 5M, ROI or something weird, 500,000. You just wholesale out of the deal, but the return becomes so significant, it doesn't make sense to not do that deal.
Mm-hmm. It's a very, very insane position to have where you can get multiples on multiples of capital with little invested capital out, but you can get multiples on it through entitlement. And this is the key is to have sellers carry it for you. So I'm on Twitter a lot, and there was a dude. The entitlements in New Jersey and New York and stuff like that, they have to buy them because it takes so long to entitle a land. They have to buy it, entitle it, and then calculate that multiple. In Texas, you can have the seller carry that with seller financing or long due diligence period. It's essentially, it turns into an novation. So if you can contract something for 2 years for 40 grand and you can value at it during that time period and then exit or buy that deal, you get a huge multiple on your money invested.
Yep. And I think, like you said, having the seller carry it, you got nothing on their side. On your side, you could have nothing again because you could say, hey, I'm going to put down $500 in earnest money or option money and then bring in a lender to put in the due diligence money.
Yeah.
So now you got 100 going in on the entitlements. You got 0 out of pocket. And now, then you have a infinite return deal. And even if it takes a year or 2 years and you got nothing into it,
Yeah.
and it's going to be a big W for everybody. It's like just kind of like planting an oak tree and waiting for it to grow. So not every property can receive that much time, right? Because if the seller's in a hurry and they got to move,
Yeah.
that's a different strategy. But if the seller just wants to maximize the return, then there's a formula for that. So that's why I kind of think what's cool about what we do is it's just whatever you can negotiate on land.
It's whatever you can negotiate. It's the golden rule of real estate.
And also nobody has to lose. Nobody has to take a short end of the deal.
Everything's negotiable. Let's talk about that. That's a great point.
Mm-hmm.
One of the big things that we like about Big Land, this is the topic of Big Land, is that you can give the sellers their price. You're no longer negotiating on price, which is a huge factor for us.
Mm-hmm.
When a seller wants a crazy number, and in houses or infill lots, you can only buy on price. With ranches and Big Land, price isn't even a negotiation factor for us. We're always negotiating on terms.
Mm-hmm.
Every time.
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of different levels, right? A lot of different areas, the way that you can extract equity out of the deal, right? So like, let's say the seller knows what he wants. He has equity. There's equity there. You can capture it, repurpose that land, subdivide it, entitle it, do something else to it to make it worth more. So you're going to make something. So there's no reason for you to come back in like a hawk and just lowball the seller for the sake of lowballing it, because they get like they feel what they're entitled to. They know that we're going to put money into the property and make it worth a lot more, and that's the fair exchange. You get what you needed. We're going to invest into this deal by buying it from you. So we're going to trade your land for our cash, right? So we're taking on some level of risk there. Mm-hmm. Then we're going to further do like legals, entitlements, or some kind of paperwork is going to happen that costs us a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of expertise, lots of phone calls, lots of emails, lots of strategizing and planning. So, hey, we're going to put in what we know plus our capital into your land. You get what you need out of it, and then we're going to get what we need out of it. So everybody's very clear, on what needs to happen.
Equity. Big Land has big equity.
Big land, big equity. That's another one, yeah. when you buy a house, even if you got a crazy deal in a crazy neighborhood, I've heard of like $100,000 spreads, and everybody online starts cheering and man, what a deal, 100,000 on a single transaction. But we can arbitrage a piece of land that has $1 million spread, $2 million spread, and it's not that uncommon.
They have big equity, which means they can seller finance. It gets a lot harder to get seller financing on commercial assets or bigger assets in general, just because it trades hands. It trades hands. It refinances. Like
there's money ready for those deals.
Yeah, there's money. There's a lot of big money ready for those deals. Like I always talk about this. Like there's probably multi-millions and billions of dollars ready to go as storage and multifamily, ready to go right now, ready for the right opportunity. Land.
Yeah, there's no money coming.
There's no money coming. There's only a couple weirdos like us doing it.
It's like us on a deserted island with the white flag talking about, come pick us up. We're out there waving the flag like, hey, letting people know, hey, we need capital. Let's keep going. And then I think what surprises people is that we have unlimited deal flow. So even if you were a great capital raiser and you could raise $1 million a week or $5 million a week, if you don't have somewhere amazing to place that capital, that's just as good as not raising it at all.
Yeah, you have a great gift with you can't take it to the gold line.
Yeah, it's like a golden goose that can't have kids no more.
Oh man, the golden goose that can't have kids anymore. That's true. It's true. I don't know. It's there's a lot of different benefits of why big land is such an amazing asset. And there's nobody playing at this level. There's less people playing at this level.
I think that's what's pretty cool is the higher you climb up in the different levels of difficulty in real estate, the more complex things get, the more easy it is for people to get turned off and run the other direction.
So I think it's funny because I always think about people. There's people following us, and they're going to follow us. Even our students, they may follow us one day. But by the time they catch up to where we're currently at, where are we going to be?
It's going to be wild.
Yeah,
it's funny too because we do have some people that are destroying it with us, and then there's also people that they're in the community, but then they went out and tried to do their own deals and they fall flat on their face. We're like, well, damn, we made a community so we could do JV deals with people and or buy the deal, sell the deal. So we're always a phone call away. If you got a crazy deal, we'll look at it. We'll try to make money for you, and if there's no money to be made, we'll pass on it or tell you our best recommendation of where to go next.
That's the biggest thing. People that have experience, they call us, or they don't have an experience, they call us.
Yeah, we get calls from some big names in real estate and some successful investors, and it's cool, man, because the more we think about it, like we got game. Like there's other gurus out there that are going after a lot of different asset classes, apartments or storage or buildings, and we're doing land every single day, all day long. So I just feel like even me myself, just being on the front lines, I learn stuff every day. Mm-hmm. And then we pick our head up and we look back and we're like, dang, that was a long way we came. Mm-hmm. We got some serious game now. It's cool because to think, like you just said, as much as we know now, it's going to be nothing in 5 years or 10 years. Mm-hmm. So to be on that trajectory, for one, is exciting. To be sharing it with a large group of people, that's also exciting because you never know. Like you said, we got fresh troops showing up every day to put in the work to make this thing happen. So it's like, if the Army keeps growing the way that it's growing right now, then it would be unstoppable. There's nothing that could stop it or impede its progress.
Yep. Infinite scalability. There's more land than every other asset class. Somebody posted that in the other group is that if gurus keep teaching people how to do land, it's going to saturate the market. And I commented, there's more land than any other asset class. And then there's always more being created. But what I mean by that, it's like, oh, they're not building any more land. What I mean by that is that we bought 10 acres and we cut it into 11 lots. There was a value created just by subdivision of that 10 acres. How many 10 acre lots can be put into ones?
Yeah.
How many 10 acres can turn into 400 multifamily units or 200 multifamily units?
A 1 acre lot could turn into 4 buildings or whatever.
It could be turned into a fourplex. So, yes, they're not making any more land, but you can create more value than what it currently is. You can create more value than what it currently is.
Literally making more deals. You're installing more deals into the marketplace. So are we printing land and making more green blades of grass? No, but we're taking one land tract and turning it into 10 deals or 40 deals or 50 deals.
Yep. And then this is like it's always the epiphany, like, oh, HiveMind doesn't do very many deals. I'm like, yeah, because we create more. We buy one big tract, we turn it into 180 lots. We just created 180 deals.
We got everything. We got our fast money, our slow money, and our medium money, like my friend Chris Rude would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hit off cylinders because we got our little 10 splits. We got our little buy and list deals. We got a lot of, I think, all three buckets. And then our long-term buckets, the trajectories are getting longer because the profits are skyrocketing.
And then watch out, HiveMind's coming from Florida. Stay tuned.
Oh, Florida's about to go down. But first, we're finished burning down Texas, but Florida's next on the radar. So anybody building a team in Florida, we would like to have a conversation with you for sure. The whole idea of the HiveMind, the whole vision for the company was that we had one killer in every single major city in the U.S. that is participating with us in this journey. So we appreciate you guys for being here. As always, we love you guys. We're just FYI, guys, in closing. It's not always about how much money you're going to make. Sometimes it's about taking care of yourself. So Daniel and myself are in Santa Rosa, California, at a medically supervised water fast with Michael Flores, one of our, he's our top sales manager and partner of ours. But we didn't come here for any emergency reason other than we want to make sure that we are performing at our best. And that's why we're going to start having more episodes like the Hive Health podcast. So if you guys want to hear more health-related podcasts or anything else that you would like to see us make a video on, like, subscribe, check it out, share this stuff, man. It helps us a lot. When the community grows, it helps everybody inside of the community. But yeah, just want to say thank you guys for being here and hanging out with us. If you made it this far into the journey with us, then I think we're all headed in the same direction. And yeah, just FYI, the machine works. It's alive. It's on. So the more people that contribute, the faster it's going to go and grow. Love you guys, man. See y'all soon.
All right, bye. Hey, if you have any deals you'd like to submit to the HiveMind and our team, go to hivebc.io. It's actually the Hive Buyers Club. Submit your deals and we can hopefully dispel your deal for you. Have a great day.